I think just the belief in myself and my abilities, I think really kept me driven to make it to the NHL. I always believed that I could play in the NHL. So I think the self-belief was a real big part, and probably the turning point. Well, no doubt the turning point was when I was in Toledo. I played there under a gentleman called Billy Inglis, who was my coach, and really was tremendous, did a lot of things for me. He was the one that ended up reaching out to some NHL teams for them to come and have a look at me, and that's how I got re-signed with Minnesota and stuff. And we won 2 championships there. Played with a centerman by the name of Claude Noel, who coached in Winnipeg for a little bit. Tremendous player, and I ended up scoring 70 goals that year. And so that was really the turning point. I really was fortunate in getting connected with some really good people that really helped me out a lot. And I got that chance again with Minnesota. They signed me to a contract, and I just really dedicated myself to the work and stuff, and took a few more years, but ended up finally making it to the NHL. Well, I think I was aware of the significance, obviously, but it wasn't really something that consumed me a lot. I was very consumed with, being a captain in the NHL, being a head coach in the NHL, staying in the NHL as a player. It took me a long time to get there. So, your job's never secure there, whether it's, possibility of being traded or not making the team or whatever. So there's a lot of focus on that. At that time, I had 2 young daughters as well. So it was, I was trying to teach them about life and everything like that. So certainly aware of the significance, but didn't really consume me a lot with it. Reflecting back, those type of accomplishments are really a byproduct. The byproduct is inspiration, right? And so for me, hopefully I was able to inspire some young hockey players, some veteran hockey players, to maybe look at that path as an option for them and stuff. So again, it was something that really, I was aware of it, but not consumed by it when I was playing and coaching. But certainly looking back on it, which is a little while ago now. You really hope that you can inspire, someone to maybe think about that path. It was obviously really, really special to be able to, play for Team Canada and to play against the best players in the world and with the best players in the world. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic because you're put together with a bunch of people that you're rivals with in the NHL, and then you have to become a team. There's a transition with you when you pull on the Canadian sweater that just galvanizes groups, and it certainly did ours. We had tremendous hockey players, like some of the best to ever play the game, played on that team. And, we pulled on the sweater and it was just like we were brothers right away. So it was super special, super proud. It was exciting. We were in Toronto and Hamilton, and the crowds were unbelievable. And it was a real special time. Feel very fortunate to be able to play with that team. And, again, and we won too. So that's always Canada, right? I think the most important thing is self-belief. I think in anything you're doing, whether it's athletics or in other parts of life, I think self-belief is very important, and to understand that, if you don't make the team, or if you don't get to promotion or whatever it is, it's only one person's opinion. And really, at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is yours. So to really hold that self-belief, sometimes it gets hard. Certainly, when I was going through my situation and I was, 2 steps away from the NHL, there was doubts, there was concerns, there was, is this ever going to happen? But I never let I always believed in myself. And so I think that's the message. It sounds easier than it actually is to do. But I think the biggest part that I learned is that, because I got cut a few times, that's never happened to me before when I was 15, 16, 14 or whatever. But to understand that's only one person's opinion, or maybe a group of people. There's a whole bunch of other people out there with other opinions. So that self-belief is really super important, I think, in anything that you do.
Dirk Graham is a trailblazer in professional hockey, leaving an indelible mark on the game through his leadership, defensive excellence, and historic achievements. Born in the Queen City, Graham honed his skills in the local minor hockey system before joining the Regina Pats. Over 3 seasons with the regiment, Graham amassed 319 points in 229 games and served as the team's captain in 1978-79. His standout performance led him to be selected 89th overall by the Vancouver Canucks in the 1979 NHL Draft. Spending multiple seasons in the Central Hockey League and International Hockey League, it was with the Toledo Gold Diggers where he truly shined, winning IHL championships in 1982 and 1983. His dominant play caught the attention of the Minnesota North Stars, who signed him in 1983. He split his time between the AHL and NHL before earning a spot with Minnesota in 1985-86. After 4.5 seasons with the North Stars, Graham was traded to the Chicago Blackhawks in 1988, where he would solidify his legacy. And in 1989, made history as the first captain of African descent in NHL history. Over 6 seasons as the original 6 franchise's captain, Graham led the team with his relentless defensive play and leadership, culminating in a trip to the 1992 Stanley Cup Final. In 1991, he won the Frank J. Selke Trophy as the NHL's top defense forward, the first Saskatchewan-born player to have ever received the award. That same year, he represented Canada at the Canada Cup, helping the host nation capture gold. Graham retired in 1995 with 862 NHL games played, recording 236 goals and 533 points. Additionally, he tallied 35 shorthanded goals over his NHL career, ranking him among the league's all-time leaders in that category. Following his playing career, Graham transitioned into coaching and scouting. He made history again in the 1998-99 season when he was named head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, becoming the NHL's first head coach of African descent. He would transition to a scout for multiple NHL organizations, including Chicago, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and San Jose Sharks. Graham's impact on the game extends beyond the ice. His leadership, perseverance, and groundbreaking achievements have paved the way for greater diversity in hockey